members of the human race tend to handle our problems with one another in 1,000 different ways. There are the hermits who simply isolate themselves and ignore the problems of human relations. On the other hand, lawmakers try to legislate solutions for them. The public itself may even try by mob action to enforce some sort of solution. All in all, though, it seems that most persons realize the need to improve human relationships, if not for a community, at least for themselves alone. It is widely acknowledged, however, that a communication gap is responsible for a lot of the misunderstanding. One prevalent source of such problems is jumping to wrong conclusions with little forethought, as we shall see.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Connie.
Boy, am I glad there's a weekend tomorrow. One more day of school and my head would have split.
Well, Connie, I don't know if my head would have split or not, but I'll have to admit this week has been harder than usual.
What are you up to for the weekend?
Well, we're going up to my grandfather's place tonight for a picnic.
Oh, that sounds great. How are you getting there?
Well, Dave's supposed to pick me up. He was off from school today, you know, so he and everybody else drove up ahead of me.
Well, have a good time, Deb, and I'll see you Monday.
Sure, so long, Connie.
So I said, Debbie Summers has absolutely no business getting into something like that.
You did?
Sure. Could you picture it?
Yeah, it sure doesn't sound like her.
Connie, hey, Connie.
You call me, Deb?
Yeah, did you just overhear Margie and Patricia say something about me?
No, why? I'm sure they couldn't have anything bad to say.
No, I guess not, but still, I hope I haven't done anything to get on their bad side.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just have a good time with your grandfather tonight.
Thanks, Connie, I'll try. See you Monday.
Hi, Deb. Are you ready to go?
Ready? I've been ready for ages, Dave. Where have you been?
Traffic, Deb, traffic. Well, you'll know how it is when you get old enough to drive.
Oh, that won't be too long now, you know, David Summers.
I'm waiting. So is everybody else, for that matter. Grandpa's got a whole leg of lamb turning over a spit, and you should smell it. Wow, and I'm hungry.
Well, if you don't hit traffic, we ought to be there in about half an hour.
Say, anything exciting happen at school today?
Nothing really, Dave.
How could you say you were there and it wasn't exciting?
Well, not exciting exactly, but Dave...
Yes, Deb?
While I was getting my books out of the locker with Connie this afternoon, Margie and Patricia walked right by me and...
So what's exciting about that?
Well, they were talking about me.
Oh, probably lots of people talk about you all the time, and you don't even know about it.
I know, Dave, but it kind of made me...
Mad?
Oh, not exactly. Just kind of depressed a little. They said that I had no business poking my nose into something or other.
Or maybe you didn't.
Oh, Dave, I don't even know what they were talking about.
Oh, come on, Deb. It's not like you to let some little thing like that ruin an evening with Grandpa.
All right, Dave, I'll try, but I still...
You still what?
I still wish I knew what those girls meant by what they said. It makes me almost sorry I ever had anything to do with them.
I tell you what. When we get there, talk to Grandpa about it.
I think maybe I will. You know, he always has some sort of good advice. Well, you do too, sometimes.
Well, that's what older brothers are for, Deb. We supply shoulders for little sisters to cry on.
Thanks a lot. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Debbie.
Hi, Deb. You have a good day at school?
That was all right.
I certainly am glad you kids got here. I was beginning to get worried.
Well, there's nothing to worry about, Mom. I just hit a little traffic on the way in, that's
Dave's
all.
really a good driver.
I know that, but
Mother's worried, Dave. You know how it is.
Sure, Dad, I know.
Say, where's Grandpa?
he just went into the house for a minute to get something.
Debbie, dear. Oh, that makes such a long time since I've seen you.
Oh, Grandpa, hi. Boy, I've thought about you so much, ever since you moved back out to your house in the country.
I had to have a place somewhere where I could invite my Debbie.
Say, Dad, do you want me to help get the salad put together?
Yes, thank you, Francis. I have everything out in the kitchen if you want to put it together.
Sure thing.
Well, I guess if she's going to work for her supper, Dave, maybe you and I could fix up those loose slats on the back porch.
And, well, maybe you can show me around.
That would be fun. Debbie and I will take a walk out by the pond.
All right, we'll see you in time for supper, Sam.
the stream is so beautiful, Grandpa, and it's so peaceful by the pond. But, Grandpa,
Yes, Debbie?
can I talk to you about something?
Certainly. Here, let me set my weary old bones down on this rock. Ah, that feels much better.
Grandpa, something happened in school today, and it's been bothering me.
It must be serious.
It is. First, it made me pretty mad, and, well, then I got to thinking, and, well, Dave suggested that I talk to you while I was here.
Thank you for your confidence, Debbie. But what happened?
Well, I was just leaving school when two of the girls, real gossipy types, walked by me, and they...
So I said, Debbie Summers has absolutely no business getting into something like that.
You did?
Sure. Could you picture it?
Yeah, it sure doesn't sound like her.
So you see, Grandpa, maybe I did do something, or maybe they were just being nasty. Oh, I just don't know what to do. Life is so complicated.
Well, maybe life does get a little bit complicated now and then, Debbie. But what you described to me makes me think of what happened once in the whole country of Israel.
What was that?
Well, it happened shortly after the Israelites had finished their conquest of the land of Canaan. Most of them settled over on the west side of the Jordan River. There were the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh, who wanted to go over to the east side of the river. And so the tribes took their flocks and their herds, and the whole great multitude of them went off to their possession. It was a great relief after the years of fighting they had had to secure the land.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Then the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh came and built a great altar on their side of the Jordan in a very conspicuous place.
An altar? But wasn't there a law that said that the only altar to be used was in the tabernacle?
Yes, there was, Debbie. And so quite naturally the rest of Israel got to thinking that the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh had already gone into revolution. They collected together their mighty men of war. How often they had drawn their swords together for the conquest of Canaan. Oh, how the memories of all those battles must have still been fresh in their minds. And how much more painful for them this time that their war was to be against their own brothers.
But wasn't that the right thing to do, Grandpa? After all, Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh had gone against the law of Jehovah.
But had they really, Debbie?
Well, certainly they had. They'd built an altar, and you agreed yourself
that it was wrong in Jehovah's eyes, according to Moses' law, to sacrifice on any altar, except the one which had been built for use at the tabernacle.
But wasn't that for sacrifice?
That's certainly what the Israelites thought. And yet the altar hadn't been built at all for worship.
But, well, why didn't they say something? Oh, what a horrible mistake to have a war just because of a misunderstanding.
Now, wait a minute, Debbie. I did not say they had a war. I only said that the armies were collected against them. The Israelites had more wisdom than that. They had lived with and fought with their brothers of the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. They had withstood the hardships of the desert together. They had held firm to the same worship together. They had been so close. They could not believe that such a change in thinking could take place overnight.
Oh, well, what did they do, Grandpa?
So each one of the 10 other tribes chose its representative and sent him over to the representatives of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. They had to find out what the truth was before ever attacking. So they said, "What is this act of unfaithfulness that you have perpetrated against the God of Israel by your building for yourself an altar?" The representatives of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh were struck. But they knew why they had really built the altar, and they answered, "It is unthinkable on our part to rebel of our own accord against Jehovah by building an altar for sacrifice, besides that altar of Jehovah our God that is before his tabernacle." No, this was to be merely a reminder to the people, a witness to them that they were all united under one God. The altar they had built was not to replace, it was to represent. Well, you can imagine how great a relief this was to the armed men of Israel. They did not have to go to war against their fellow believers, but Debbie, the point we are looking for is, why did they avert the catastrophe of war? What did they do?
Why, well, they sat down and they talked over what and why.
That's right, my dear Debbie. And can't you see the wisdom of this in your case? Haven't you decided something before you should have?
You're right, Grandpa. You know, I don't know what those girls were talking about, really. Well, I should talk to them and find out if it's really bothering me, and, well, that will solve a problem that seems to have gotten pretty big for me right now.
Good girl. Oh, they're going to wonder what has become of us. A whole hour has slipped by already.
Oh, my. Oh, but thank you so much for talking to me, Grandpa. I sure feel a whole lot better.
Anytime, Debbie. Now, we'd better hurry on back before they send out a search party for us.
Right.
How was the weekend, Deb?
Oh, just great, Connie.
Did you have a good time with your grandfather?
Fabulous.
Well, I gotta get going. I'll see you later, Deb.
Okay.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello, Margie. How are you?
Oh, all right, I guess. And how about yourself?
Oh, pretty well. Say, Marge, can I talk to you a minute?
Sure. What's up, Debbie?
Well, I couldn't help overhearing something that you were saying about me in the corridor Friday afternoon. Well, something about my having no business getting into something or other.
Having no business getting into something or another?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about... Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Somebody was talking to me about inviting you to some party the kids in high school were having. They're a real wild bunch, and I told them that you'd have no business being in there.
Is that all there was to it?
Well, what else could there be? Besides, as I understand it, the thing got so far out of hand, somebody had to call the police on them. Nobody in his right mind had any business there. Anyway, I've got to get to homeroom now, so I'll see you later, Debbie.
Okay. Boy, Grandpa was really right. You don't dare form opinions till you find out about people. You just might be wrong.
What'd you say, Deb?
Oh, nothing. I just learned something, that's all. Come on, we're going to be late.
So the Israelite king Solomon made an accurate and disarmingly frank observation when the Bible records him as saying, "Do not hurry yourself in your spirit to become offended, for the taking of offense is what rests in the bosom of the stupid ones."
The program, All Scripture is Beneficial, is produced by the Watchtower Society and presented by Jehovah's Witnesses.